I don't want no lockout. Jay Melbourne, all these people have come out saying they don't want no damn lockout, and y'all are playing games.
Hey, what's going on with the WNBA? I just met some lady who played for the Seattle Storm. I saw her at practice. She was giving buckets. 9th year in the league. Went to Duke. Boss. She's like, yeah, we need to hurry up and sign that deal. Sounds like I need to do more than that. Let's hear it.
Hey, Lexi Brown, go ahead, mama. You didn't have to say it on camera. He told us for you. Hey, are you guys still united? You guys still...
The future of the WNBA was just destroyed. What many suspected has been proven by a shocking disclosure from league sources. The next season is practically out of the question. Delays in discussions are no longer the only issue. 4 superstar players like Caitlin Clark, who dedicated her incredible talent to the game, it is a disastrous collapse. This is not just a setback. It is a betrayal of confidence. Unprecedented decisions must be made due to the immediate and irreversible repercussions. Fans and players are in complete shock as the hope of a groundbreaking year is now in jeopardy. The leadership of the WNBA has been utterly silent during its darkest moment, talking a lot about the chaos that is developing behind closed doors. This could be the end of an era before it has started.
For the Seattle Storm, I saw her at practice. She was giving buckets. 9th year in the league. Went to Duke. Boss. She's like, yeah, we need to hurry up and sign that deal. Sounds like I need to do more than that. Let's hear it.
Hey, Lexi Brown, go ahead, mama. You didn't have to say it on camera. He told us for you. Hey, are you guys still united? You guys still united? Listen, Lexi Brown is trying to get her Skrilla. That's who he was referring to in this. And Lexi Brown is under contract.
The WNBA's divided state, where player associations and team owners are embroiled in a fierce power battle, is the direct cause of this terrible reality. We now know that the league is stuck in a state of status quo, a misleading name for anything that is basically motionless. The league is now in uncharted terrain as negotiations for a new collective bargaining agreement have utterly halted. This goes beyond simple bureaucratic red tape. It is a serious leadership failure on both sides. A growing concern that the WNBA's basic structure is collapsing under the weight of unsolved problems has replaced the expectation for a speedy settlement.
With the WNBPA. Now let's go over to Yahoo Sports. They address what's going on with the lockout. Like, let's be serious here. The owners are not playing with these ladies anymore. They're not entertaining their nonsense. These girls are still acting ghetto, running to Instagram, trying to win over public perception, putting rats in front of buildings, like acting like bitter exes because the owners ain't respond to their text messages, left them on red. They talking about the owners is running out the clock, all of this stuff. Let's take a listen to what they said on Hoops 360.
The league. What is that?
Well, let's backtrack.
Players are immediately and brutally affected. 9-year league veteran and former Seattle Storm player Lexi Brown has expressed her intense dissatisfaction in public. An exclusive from Marcellus Way claims that Brown was heard yelling, "We need to hurry up and sign that deal." She's not by herself. Several players, such as Jay Melbourne and Tasia Kelly, have repeated her fervent request to prevent a lockout. This internal conflict is holding their lives and careers hostage. The real human cost of these stalling negotiations is highlighted by Lexi Brown, who is still fighting for the money she has earned under her previous CBA contract.
Entertaining their nonsense. These girls are still acting ghetto, running to Instagram, trying to win over public perception, putting rats in front of buildings, like acting like bitter exes because the owners ain't respond to their text messages, left them on red. They talking about the owners is running out the clock, all of this stuff. Let's take a listen to what they said on Hoops 360.
The league. What is that?
Well, let's backtrack a little bit. Because there is no deal and because there is no deal on an extension, the league enters a status quo period. So negotiations continue in good faith. The league continues.
Because she and Claudia Brown are the only veterans with contracts for the following season, Braun's displeasure is especially intense. While many players must deal with the uncertainty of free agency, Lexi has a contract that requires her to play. However, she is unable to collect her salary due to the league's actions. She is well aware of her short playing window at 31, and the delay is costing her money and valuable time. She sees the lengthy negotiations with the WNBPA as a direct danger to her future and financial security. There is more to this than just a contract. It concerns the player's capacity to ensure their future during a brief career.
A lot of sense. So enter a moratorium, a deal that says free agency will be put on pause. They will not send out those qualifying offers for players to respond to. That part of league operations just kind of does not happen at the moment. Everything else, though, continues. So players can still contact teams and coaches. They can have that open line of communication. They can work out in team facilities. Everything operates as normal while they try and figure out a new CBA. This actually just recently happened in minor league hockey. Their CBA expired in June with the AHL.
According to reports, the owners of the WNBA are no longer involved in games with the Players Association. According to sources, they are no longer putting up with what they consider to be absurd. This extreme position denotes a significant change in the balance of power and a refusal to make any more concessions during talks. The players are forced into a corner because the owners think they are running out of time. Team ownership's aggressive strategy raises the possibility of confrontation escalating from negotiation to a test of wills. As both sides dig in, the league's survival is in jeopardy and the WNBA is getting closer to collapse.
That we would enter this period of status quo. Two things, though, that concern me. One, it's what you just mentioned, and that's free agency. That's the whole point of moratorium. It puts a hold on free agency. And look, this could change tomorrow. That's kind of the unpredictability of all of these negotiations. We are not sitting in these boardrooms. We're not having these conversations. So we don't know exactly what these conversations hold and what is being discussed. But I did read an article that said it could potentially push free agency back to March. And you might say, well, that still leaves plenty of time for training camp. That still leaves plenty of time to build your team before the beginning of the season. But what I think...
To make matters worse, the league entered a moratorium, which essentially stops essential procedures for free agency. Teams were first permitted to put out eligible offers and identify essential players under the previous CBA. However, this became worthless paperwork very shortly. Players would just turn these down. Offers in light of a new CBA's higher pay. Thus, free agency was suddenly stopped, leaving hundreds of gamers in limbo. This moratorium is more than just a hold off. The system is shutting down. Player market generating hitherto unheard of uncertainty for athletes attempting to obtain their upcoming contract. This teamwork is directly hampered by disruption, construction, and player safety.
Actually push free agency back to March. And you might say, well, that still leaves plenty of time for training camp. That still leaves plenty of time to build your team before the beginning of the season. But what I think about is a little something else that we have in the world of basketball that happens in the month of March. And that is the NCAA tournament. That is the Final Four. That when you have these teams, these coaches, these general managers that are planning their teams for the future, a really big part of that is scouting in the NCAA tournament. Is so many of these players that boost their draft stock when they play to a certain level in the biggest games of the year. Now, I'm not saying it's inevitable that free agency is going to be pushed.
Technically, other procedures continue even while free agency is suspended. Players are still able to work out in team facilities, get in touch with organizations, and speak with coaches. This appearance of normalcy is deceptive, though. These activities are mostly performative in the absence of a new CBA or active free agency. If there isn't a season to prepare for or a finalized team to join, what good is training? This current state of affairs is a front for the league's pervasive stagnation. In actuality, the WNBA's core engine has stopped, even though some doors are still open.
She said we need to sign that deal. That is what she said. And the WNBPA is going and doing their own thing. They've gone rogue. They've gone rogue, you guys. Get down in the comments and let me know what you think. This Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share.
Such a period of status quo is not unprecedented. Similar circumstances were encountered by minor league hockey. Players in the AHL and ECHL received back pay after playing for months under a CBA that had expired. The WNBA situation is different, though. After a brief work stoppage, the hockey leagues resolved the issue. However, it seems like the WNBA is going deeper without a clear way ahead. This analogy serves as a sobering warning. Even if play resumes, the harm to the league's reputation and player trust may be irreversible, considerably outweighing any short-term financial solutions. The postponement of free agency until March is among the most worrisome possible consequences. Although some may contend that there is still time for training camp, the consequences are much worse. The NCAA tournament takes place in March, which is also a crucial time for scouting and increasing draft stock. Restricting free agency would make it much more difficult for coaches and general managers to find college talent. The WNBA's already difficult schedule would turn into a nightmare, affecting the league's capacity to draw elite college players like Caitlin Clark in subsequent drafts. The issue is made worse by the sheer number of free agents this offseason. Delaying free agency becomes a financial and logistical mess because so many players are looking for new contracts. Future-focused teams create their lineups according to a set schedule. All of those preparations are thrown into turmoil by this lengthy delay. It involves more than just one or two players. Every franchise and every athlete fighting for a berth are impacted by this league-wide problem. The WNBA's own actions are stifling its potential for expansion by creating a talent and opportunity bottleneck. Beyond veterans, there is pandemonium. Equally affected are rookies, such as those anticipated from the next draft class. Their first professional contracts and league debut are currently clouded by ambiguity. How can a fresh player commit to a league where a season is not even guaranteed? The interference with the scouting procedure during the NCAA tournament greatly affects their ability to make an impression and acquire a big contract. The league is alienating the upcoming generation of players by essentially locking its doors to the very talent it needs to develop for its future. The WNBA is facing an existential dilemma due to the possibility of no season, especially with regard to its capacity to hold on to its top players. Top talent will unavoidably look elsewhere if a league cannot guarantee its players a regular schedule or just recompense. The choice to look for steady possibilities elsewhere becomes not just obvious, but practically imperative for someone like Caitlin Clark, whose popularity extends beyond the WNBA. The unpredictability of the league is that its whole existence would be undermined by a direct invitation to its most marketable athletes to depart. If the season is canceled, Caitlin Clark's possible exit would be disastrous. Her entrance, which brought record viewership and engagement, was heralded as a turning moment. Even a brief loss of her would negate years of advancement and drastically lower the league's public image. There is more than one player involved. It has to do with the symbol she stands for. A clear message would be conveyed by her absence. For its brightest stars, the WNBA is an unreliable home. The league's greatest asset is being pushed away by self-inflicted wounds. The implicit no-season statement made by the commissioner, a serious breakdown of trust, is indicated by the league's inaction rather than its words. It is evident that the leadership is inept and chaotic when they are unable to obtain a fundamental operating agreement. This isn't merely a commercial disagreement. It's a crisis of trust. By demanding a settlement, players like Lexi Brown are subtly undermining the league's authority to rule itself. Due to the WNBA leadership's effective vacuum, uncertainty has taken center stage. Insiders claim that the WNBPA is going rogue as a result of this whole predicament, since they are fed up with the impasse and the owner's strict position. According to reports, certain members of the Players Association are looking into alternate tactics. An already untenable scenario is made more difficult by the internal rift inside the WNBPA between those who are yearning for a deal and others who are holding fast. Effective negotiations require a united front, but player solidarity is being undermined by the impending lockout. Players are left susceptible by this rogue activity, which raises the possibility of a dangerous breakdown in organized action. The league's reputation among the general public is also suffering greatly. According to reports from Yahoo Sports, Players are using social media to try to change the public's opinion by using strategies that owners see as behaving ghetto or like resentful ex-partners. Despite the controversy surrounding these descriptors, they draw attention to how deeply personal this disagreement is. The owner's position is further hardened because they believe that these initiatives are ineffective. The WNBA's brand image is seriously harmed by this public mudslinging, which diverts attention from important issues and turns off prospective new fans. The conflict's long-term effects are astounding. Attracting future generations of talent, both players and front office staff, becomes exponentially more difficult in such a volatile environment, and even if a deal is eventually reached and a season is cut short, the harm to player morale, league credibility, and fan engagement will be enormous. The WNBA runs the potential of serving as a warning about how internal conflict might undermine advancement. This goes beyond a single season. It concerns the league's capacity to continue operating for many years to come. There was more to Lexi Brown's passionate request for a transaction made through Marcellus Way than simply her own earnings. It served as a rallying cry for the WNBA's continued existence. She is aware of the delicate environment of professional women's basketball, as are other veterans. They have seen the hardships and battled for every bit of advancement. It is devastating to see everything put at risk due to a breakdown in discussions. Her voice speaks for the quiet majority of players who just want to participate to make money and watch their league succeed rather than fail. Given the circumstances, a severe doubt on every WNBA player, particularly the most well-known players in the league. For someone like Caitlin Clark, is this instability worth it? A league that can't guarantee a season could not be a good long-term home given the abundance of endorsements and international chances. Because dedication to the WNBA was a leap of faith that may suddenly be destroyed by internal squabbles. The league's future and its capacity to draw in and keep generational talent depend only on finding a quick solution to this disastrous leadership failure. The WNBA is at a dangerous juncture. The season was effectively canceled as a result of its biggest stars, like Caitlin Clark, are being driven to the verge of collapse by internal strife. This is more than just a disagreement about a contract. It's a fight for women's basketball's essence. The decisions made during these crucial times will decide whether the league can bounce back or whether it will always be seen as the company that let its heyday pass. The spotlight is on. The time is running out.